Hello, Shada. I hope you're doing well. So, right now we're going to talk about responding to connotation images, and we're going to go deeper to know the meaning of connotation and how are we going to figure out this through the text. So, mainly, we've got three goals for today's class. The first one is understand the meaning of connotation and denotation. So, we have new terms. Two, how to respond to different connotation in texts, which probably will come after in any text. So you will have kind of questions that will ask you to spot and figure out the connotation meaning through any text. The last and the third thing is the assignment. So I'm going to give you an assignment just to make sure that you fully understand the lesson. So what is connotation? Connotation is the use of a word to suggest a different association than its literal meaning, which is known as denotation. For example, blue is a color, but it's also a word used to describe a feeling of sadness, as in she's feeling blue. So, overall, the meaning of connotation is that sometimes a word can suggest two different meaning. One of them is positive and the other is negative. As for the literal meaning of a word, that's what we call the denotation. For example, a tree. The denotation meaning is it's just a plant. It has a trunk and branches and leaves, and that's it. That's the denotation meaning, which is the literal meaning. But when we are talking about the connotation meaning, we're talking about implied meaning. We're talking about different meaning. For example, the word color. So we have blue. Blue in English could suggest sadness, as in she's feeling blue. The same thing if we are talking about she or he is a lion. So if I want to describe my friend, he is a lion. Now the denotation meaning of a lion is the animal, the wild animal. But the connotation meaning is that he's brave. So I use the word lion and I use the connotation brave as lion. Connotations can be either positive, negative, or neutral. Writers often use different connotations to inject multiple layers of meaning into a word, phrase, or passage. So, in a literature text, you will possibly encounter so many connotations. Sometimes a word can hold so many meanings, and that's the beauty of the English language, that is so flexible. For example, the word childish, as an adjective, it has a negative connotation, implying an adult behaving immaturely. So, if I want to use this word in a sentence like, "Stop it, Jack! You're being childish." Now, childish, the denotation meaning of childish means like it is an attitude that comes from children, which in a literal context, it doesn't mean anything. It just, it's not negative at all. But when I use it to describe someone, for example, Jack, you're being childish, it definitely suggests a negative connotation, implying an adult behaving immaturely. So this is the connotation meaning of childish. And useful implies lively and energetic attitude. So youth means like above 25, so youthful here, it has a positive connotation. However, the word youth in its denotation meaning, it does not imply positive or even negative meaning. Just the literal meaning is just youth. It describes people above 25 and between 25 and 35 maybe. While childlike implies a sense of wonder, so both are positive. Young, for a denotation meaning, it means someone is young. That means someone it's not old, so young is neutral. It can't be positive or even negative. Now let's go through the textbook. We have with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 stanzas, and we're going to read them. That's a poem by Wilfred Owen. So, and we have 5 questions about this text, and we're going to discuss the use of connotations. So, let's go through the questions first. What do you think the poem is about? Discuss with a partner. I'm not going to answer the questions for you because that's supposed to be an assignment, but rather I'm going to discuss them with you. So when you have a question like what do you think the poem is about, the answer should be what is the main trend? What is the main goal of writing this piece? What is the objective? What is the main topic, right? So right here, you've got to read it thoroughly and go through the meaning. Do not expect direct meaning. Find out the final 2 lines mean. Find out what the final 2 lines mean. What do you think Owen chose the title of the poem? Now, when you read the last 2 lines of this poem, the old lie, delus de docrum est, bro patri mori, I want you to go to the internet and search for this poem and dig down to the history and why he entitled it like this. So number 3, how does the poem make you feel? As I told you before, when you read any text, you will be left with a feeling, how the text impacts on you. What are the feelings that you have after reading this text? Individually, continue to annotate the poem, pick out words and phrases that have strong connotations. Now, you have to go through the text and spot the words that they carry connotation meaning. For example, I'm going to help you with this. When you keep reading, you have all blind. Now, when you have adjective like blind, drunk, fatigue, these words definitely have a negative meaning. Blind, it has a negative meaning. Negative connotation. Drunk has a negative connotation. Fatigue, it can't be positive, it has a negative connotation, right? And also deaf as well. Now also clumsy, yelling, it has a negative connotation that someone is screaming out at someone, maybe out of pain. So, as for the 5th question, I don't want you to go through it. I just want you to answer 1, 2, 3, 4. Forget about the last question, which is number 5. It has nothing to do with today's main objective. So, again, you have to go through the text, read it thoroughly, understand what is it about, and then I want you to let me know how do you feel after reading the text, and then I want you to go through the adjectives and nouns and how and what kind of connotations they have. You may encounter and you may find positive connotation and also negative connotation. So your goal is to check them out. Right here, they've got side notes. So of course you remember the device repetition, the rhetorical device repetition. As you can see here, gas, repetition of gas combined with the exclamation mark and capital letters convey the soldiers' fear and panic. So, in a text, sometimes you have repetition and you will see words repeated twice. They must suggest something, like in this example, they suggest a combined feelings of panic and fear about the soldiers. And also right here, ecstasy of fumbling suggests an inability for the soldiers to simply task due to the panic. Ecstasy here means loss of control rather than happiness and surprises. The reader's expectations as ecstasy usually has positive connotations. So, these side notes will help you to understand the text even better, and I expect that you have a complete understanding of the notion of connotation after answering the first 4 questions here. And as I told you, don't worry about the last question. So you're gonna find these assignments in page 13 and 14. So let me know when you finish and send them to me on my WhatsApp. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.